You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. Those are the words of Jesus, at least according to the Bible. John 8:44 and 45. The God of the Old Testament is not the same God of unconditional love Jesus speaks about in those verses. He was not just being poetic. He was drawing a line between the God they worshipped and the Father he knew. The first 5 books of the Old Testament are called the Torah. They're often attributed to Moses, but modern scholarship shows they were compiled centuries later, during and after the Babylonian exile, 6th century BCE. During this time, the Israelites were surrounded by Babylonian culture, myths, and gods. Many stories in Genesis and Exodus mirror older Mesopotamian texts. For example, Noah's flood. That mirrors the Epic of Gilgamesh. The God of the Torah, YHWH, which some refer to as Yahweh, evolves over time. He starts as one of many regional gods called Elohim. Then he becomes jealous and starts demanding exclusive worship. By Exodus, he's commanding violence, genocide, and sacrifice. This is not the Abba that Jesus revealed. So what happened? The Bible was edited by Rome to create control. By the 4th century AD, Rome saw the power of the Christian movement and co-opted it. Constantine legalized Christianity because he saw an opportunity to unify the empire. Just a theory, but it's of my personal belief that the reason Paul was headed to Rome and was imprisoned before he could do what he was supposed to do, and why so many of his letters were mistranslated, is because the Roman Empire didn't fall. It became the Roman Catholic Church. And that doesn't mean the Roman Catholic Church is evil. He was going there to try to prevent something. They were doing certain rituals in the temple. The way certain modern evangelical Christians have taken Paul's words out of context, along with mistranslations, to serve their own hateful purposes, anti the unconditional love of Jesus Christ. The persecution of Jesus didn't start until he started telling people about the power of the mind. After Constantine legalized Christianity, the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD decided what books made it into the canon. Dozens of Gospels were considered apocrypha, removed from the Bible, removed from what at least became the English version of the Bible. Thanks, King James. Even if you read another version of the Bible, King James is the one who set the canon for the American Bible. Dozens of Gospels were removed, especially those that taught divine union, reincarnation, the power of the mind, and the feminine aspect of God. Those were all banned or destroyed. The remaining books were reinterpreted to support the patriarchy, hierarchy, obedience, and to demand external worship. Even though Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within. If your eye be single, your whole body be full of light. That's your pineal gland. Rome removed the mystical heart of Christianity, and they replaced it with a male-only priesthood, fear-based doctrines of hell, and salvation through obedience to church authority instead of inner knowledge, inner gnosis. We have been living under that spell ever since. So when someone says the Bible is God-breathed, which version are they talking about? The one that went through Constantine and Council of Nicaea and King James, the Greek Septuagint, the Latin Vulgate, which was commissioned by Rome, or the King James Version, authorized by a Freemason king, the first person who was allowed to publish the Bible, the only publisher in the land. All he did was plagiarize the Geneva Bible and add a bunch of punctuation marks, including exclamation points. Anger, anger, anger. He also was famous for having male lovers. But yet, King James only. Antioch scrolls, right? Each version of the Bible reflects a different agenda. The Bible does contain divine truth, but it's layered with distortions and mistranslations. Yes, it has codes. So does every other book on this planet. So does every word on this planet. Because it's a simulation. Jesus is trying to tell you this. The codes are there, but they don't mean what most people think. It was not meant to be taken literally. And yeah, Jesus existed at least once because that's how the simulation works. We're broadcasting with our minds. And if they tell you that's Daniel, Revelation, if they tell you it's going to happen and they make you think about it, the power is all in your mind, showing you what's going to happen and making you think, oh, it's just happening from an outside source. Or were you creating it all along? Especially by arguing about it, studying it over and over. Don't look in here, look out there. If your eye be single, your whole body be full of light. That's what Jesus said. Your eye be single. Your pineal gland. May the eyes of your understanding be enlightened. Read the Bible with discernment. With the eyes of the heart, the eyes of your understanding, not with the letter of the law.